What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Moonbeam. Moonbeam continues to break, some serious milestones. They announced 3 weeks ago about their wallet, the amount of wallets that they had, the amount of transactions that they've done. Is probably the strongest project on Polkadot by a decent margin. That and Akala are definitely the top two. Not including Kusama. And yeah, really strong. So I want to take a look at that because I think there's huge growth there, particularly with regards to the overall market cap. Not necessarily the token in the same way. And I'll talk about that. Before I do, as always, I update the spreadsheet. Just the first 26 coins. I held the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I was bullish on. Had you invested $100 into each of these when I release videos and you were still holding that crypto, you'd be in profit for over 48 grand. They're not the coins I hold anymore. If you want to see what I hold, you can come check out Copy My Crypto, where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell, and how I'm setting up my portfolio in case things turn bearish or bullish, as well as my outlook on a day-to-day basis for the market. If you're not happy with how you're seeing the market moving or your anticipation of how the market's going to move, then come see what I'm saying. And guys, build your spreadsheet of coins you're excited about long term. When the bear cycle kicks in, that list of coins that you've built is going to be invaluable to you. I've been building my list for years. And when the bear cycle kicks in, I'm going to share those coins that I think can 50x, 100x, 1000x, exactly like I did with Phantom. So if you want to be a part of that, click the link in the description and check it out. All right, Moonbeam. Moonbeam's priced at $5.10, launched at around $20. So it has depreciated, or launched at about $15 and then ran up to 22 before depreciating. Moonbeam is very strong as a project. So there is no doubt about it. I've covered Moonbeam before. Now, one thing that I didn't take into account was actually the circulating supply and the token release schedule. So I want to talk about that. But before I do, Moonbeam shared their statistics. So they had 3 million transactions, 200,000 wallets, and $225 million in GLMR staked in the first 60 days. That's really strong. That's a really strong run in 60 days. 92 million GLMR tokens were locked up, which right now as well is worth around about 450 million. So 460 million. So pretty damn good. The beauty of obviously Moonbeam is it is the smart contract parachain for Polkadot, and it's because of their Ethereum Virtual Machine, anyone that's a developer on Ethereum can develop on Moonbeam with pretty much no changes. On top of that, obviously Moonbeam can be integrated effectively with almost every Polkadot extension that's going, because the strength of the smart contract parachain. Now, in terms of Moonbeam, right now, obviously GLMR and the GLMR token and the Mover token are respective tokens for the different parachains. But Moonbeam itself, the ecosystem is growing at a really impressive rate. And it's really good to see because fundamentally DeFi projects are going to start utilizing Moonbeam more and more and more. That's pretty much already started and is going to continue to grow. When you look at Moonbeam's ecosystem, you can see that within DeFi, we've got Linear, Lido, IDEX, Injective Protocol, Orion, Balancer, Impossible Finance, Dodo, Pokemarkets, Connects, Mintrest, Firefly. I think that's Equilibrium, but it's very small. Cream, Icon, WePiggy. There's some really strong projects in there, and this is only going to develop over time. It's an inevitability because Moonbeam is a beast. I see Moonbeam pretty much being guaranteed to be the having a parachain forever on Polkadot. It's so strong. And if there's particular areas that you're really excited about, you can obviously search them through Moonbeam's site. DeFi is one where I still feel there's got to be a real second revival and wave for DeFi. And Moonbeam could be at the forefront of the development there. So there's going to be some serious projects that launch via Moonbeam. So really one to watch. And I'd be watching effectively Polkadot, sort of launch pads, any that are Polkadot related, and because if you identify a DeFi project that's going to be building via Moonbeam, or deploying via Moonbeam rather, then you've got a project that could be an absolute titan. Now, Moonbeam itself should be a $10 to $20 billion market cap. Really should. 10 billion is sort of the conservative perspective. Now, just because the market cap hits 10 billion does not mean the price will 10x. That is an important distinction to make. And you do have to understand that there are token release schedules. So right now, I think there's 206. Yeah. So the 220, just a little over 20% of the overall supply is circulating. So we are roughly here. We're roughly in this sort of we're fourth month, right? So within, or 3.5 months, whatever. So within another sort of 3 months, we're going to be at month 6, and we're going to be looking at around 275 million tokens. So there's another roughly 70 million that's going to be added to the circulating supply within a few months. I do believe this will be a 10 billion project. I do believe that it's almost inevitable because Polkadot, the strength of the Polkadot ecosystem and the strength of the Moonbeam project itself is there. But something that I know people sometimes don't necessarily take into account is, and we've all done it, but is the token model. So if there's another 70 million released across the next, say, 3 months, all of a sudden, you've got 275 million tokens, right? So for this to hit a 10 billion market cap, this price does not need to 10x. It needs to do, less, an 8x. Well, yeah, about an 8x. And that isn't as good. And it's something to bear in mind. I do believe that you've got huge potential here, but do bear that in mind. Because if you're going, well, this should be or even a $20 billion market cap, right? You're effectively looking at a 20x in market cap. But if there's 270 million tokens, 275 million tokens 3 months down the line, for it to hit 20 billion, this price is not going to 20x. This price needs to, 16, 17x. And the distinction there is important. It's worth bearing in mind. Because people do sometimes wait for price points before banking profit. And it's more sensible generally to look at market cap. Because your market cap is an indicator of the strength of the project. And the market cap is a better indicator of the success. And if you believe that 20 billion is the target, keep an eye on the circulating supply, because there is an element as well of initial investors. Initial investors more likely to potentially dump on the market. When you're looking at seed funding, more seed funding will be coming out 3 months down the line. More seed funding they got in earlier, they're probably more likely potentially to dump. So something you've got to bear in mind. And it is important that you do that, because you might not be cashing in at the best profit opportunity if you don't bear that in mind. And the token release schedule, all coins have this, always something to have a look at. it is estimated token release schedule, but you know when you go on to you can go onto Moonbeam's like Telegram group or contact them directly, but you can get exact dates because all of these people, like everyone that's having tokens released, have exact defined dates for the days that their tokens are released. And that allows you to then at least anticipate if the market's about to be flooded. Like if you know on the 7th of every month, there's going to be another 10 million tokens added to the supply, you know, as a hypothetical. And you know all of a sudden 10 million already coming on one particular day, there is a decent likelihood that you're going to see a percentage of that sell in big profit and bank that profit. So it is something to bear in mind. By the end of 2 years after the launch, it will be that effectively 65-ish% of the overall supply will have been released. So at that point, then there'll be 650-ish million tokens by the end of the 2-year period. And obviously, there are monthly returns based, and you know the staking returns for Moonbeam. So you also need to bear that in mind in terms of the staking percentages for Moonbeam. And I'll take a look and have a look at the staking percentages now. So this is .marketcap.com. This is actually pretty good because this is all Polkadot related. This whole site, right? So this is showing the total amount staked. So there's 106 million Polkadot, GLMR Moonbeam staked, right? So if I was to stake, say, 100 GLMR, my yearly income would be 68 additional GLMR. So that means there's a 68% return. So that's, I don't know, I don't believe that's compounding. So what is the rate of APR? It's continually updated, but right now it's 68%, I believe. Highest APR is 68%. So you've got to bear in mind right now there's 106 million GLMR staked. So that's an additional 68 million that will be earned in rewards by the end of this year, or by this time next year. So again, and it's just something that I want to make sure people are doing. It's just bearing that in mind, because again, the success or the price that a coin can reach is directly impacted by the amount of tokens that are out there. So if you're looking at a monthly return of 2% or 2.27% right now, and that still means there's going to be an additional 2 million next month. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but you factor that in when you're also factoring in all the other people that are having tokens released. It is worthwhile checking these things. I still think Moonbeam has definite growth to come in terms of price appreciation, but price appreciation, like I say, does not equate to market cap appreciation. As the tokens are released more, the price will not go up as much. This is still a beast, and this still the market cap should certainly 10x, but it's just, there are comments out there about, this running up to $100, which is a 20x. Now, yeah, that would push it to a market cap of 20 billion or 21 billion right now. But in a few months, when there's another 70 plus million tokens out there, that all of a sudden there's a 27 billion market cap. There's a big difference there. So just worth bearing in mind. Doesn't mean my perspective changes on Moonbeam. I still think it's the strongest project in the Polkadot ecosystem, or certainly top 2, because Akala is also very, very, very strong. Yeah, something to consider. Does the token schedule actually concern that many people? Just let me know in the comments, actually, because I'm just trying to make sure that I've given enough information. But if you're bullish on Moonbeam long term, then it might not bother you that there's going to be an additional you know, 20 million a month or however many it is. Let me know in the comments. And what do you think of Moonbeam? Is there a another Polkadot project that you're even more excited about? Let me know down below. As always, guys, like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you know when there's more content coming out. And that is it from me. If you're new to crypto or you've been in crypto a while and you're not happy with how things are going, not happy with the balance of your portfolio, you can see exactly what I buy, what I sell on copymycrypto.com, along with how I'm seeing the market on a daily basis, along with, obviously, when a bear cycle kicks in, the coins I think have enormous chances for huge growth. Like I said with Phantom when I said it'd be the best investment of the year, and it's still up 295 times from when I got in. So if you want to be a part of those gains as well, click the link in the description and check it out. Anyway, take it easy, folks. Bye-bye.